Yes, hello there everyone, and thank you so much for clicking again this video lesson. And for today, we are going to have a lesson from Art 7 Quarter 2 Arts and Crafts of Mimaropa. As you can see here in the picture, we are going to discuss these things. But before that, let us have our lesson objectives for today. So at the end of this lesson, you should identify characteristics of arts and crafts in specific areas in Mimaropa and the Visayas, Marinduque, Moriones Mas, Palawan, Manungol Jar, Mindoro, Hanunua Writing, Basketry and Weaving, Bohol, Churches, Cebu, Furniture, Iloilo Culinary Arts and Old Houses, Samar Basic Mats, and etc. A7EL2A2. And the next one, draw and design on Morion, applying the elements of art and principles of designs. And the third one, appreciate the artifacts and art objects in terms of its utilization and its distinct use of art elements and principles. A7PL2H2. Now, let us talk about Mimaropa. Again, do you have any idea what Mimaropa stands for? Okay, Mi stands for Mindoro. Very good. Ma stands for Marinduque. Yes. Ro stands for Romblon. And the last one, Pa, stands for Palawan. Again, Mimaropa stands for Mi Mindoro, Ma Marinduque, Ro Romblon, and Pa Palawan. Mimaropa. Okay, now let us study first the first province. Okay, so we have here the first province as Mindoro. There are actually 7 groups living in Mindoro. Collectively, they call themselves Mangyans. Okay. Mangyans or these groups are different from each other based on their language, customs, and ways of living. The groups living in the southern part of Mindoro are called Hanunuo Mangyan, which means true, real, or genuine. Mangyan, while another group is called Iraya Mangyans. Okay, now all right, they have the what we call ambahan. The art of Mangyans actually display rich artistic heritage. One of their art forms is the ambahan, as you can see here in the picture. Ambahan is a rhythmic poetic expression with a meter of 7 syllables. This is presented through recitation and chanting without a determined musical pitch or accompaniment. Its purpose is to express in a symbolic way a certain characteristics or situation by the one reciting the poem. A variation of this is here, the what we call urukai. Okay, urukai, which uses 8 syllables instead of 7, and it is frequently written on bamboo tubes or slats, as you can see here in the picture. Okay, so that is ambahan and urukai. Now, the Iraya Mangyans of Mindoro are fond of making baskets with intricate patterns and designs of animals, humans, trees, and other objects. It is made of dried nito grass and foreign vines, meticulously and patiently woven to create these very unique baskets, as you can see here in the picture. Okay, so they make a lot of baskets like this. So it's more than just an art. And next one that we are going to have is Marinduque. Okay, the Moriones festival in Marinduque is a much awaited Lenten tradition that is celebrated every week. Moriones festival comes from the word morion. As you can see here in the picture, morion means masks that are made from wood or paper mache adorned with colorful shells, animals, hair, tassels, and crepe papers. People who act as Roman soldiers during the festival, these Moriones festival, wear these masks together with vests, capes, and wooden shields. And then they act as if they're Roman soldiers hunting for Longinus. Do you know who Longinus is? Okay, so Longinus is also or was also a Roman soldier, but he converted himself into Christianity because of the death of Jesus Christ. Okay, now let's continue. So let us move on to the next one. Not only Moriones Festival makes Marinduque popular. Okay, Marinduque people also likes weaving. Weaving is a skill that has been passed on through the years by the people of Marinduque. Because of the abundance of the buli or the buri palm and the raffia that grows in their areas, these leaves become staple materials in the weaving of the Marinduqueños or the people from Marinduque. Okay, next one we have Remblon. Okay, Romblon is called as the marble capital of the Philippines or marble country of the Philippines. Okay, because Romblon is known not only actually for its fine marble products, but also for beautifully woven mats, bags out of Romblon plants. So as you can see here, they have a lot of marble materials or marble made products. Okay, and then we have here their beautifully woven mats, bags, and so on. Okay, next and the last one we have Palawan. Palawan is a very beautiful place, as you know, and it's very popular among tourists. Palawan, known as the country's lost frontier, is rich in cultural and natural diversity. It is said that the first inhabitants of Palawan are called the Tagbanwas. They have their own writing system that they use to communicate with each other, like the Hanunuo Mangyan. Okay, that like the Hanunuo Mangyan and Buhid Mangyans, they use their writing to write their own history. Okay, the men of Palawan are skillful wood carvers as well, while their children and women are proficient weavers. Okay, so now let's talk about this one. This one is a tingkop. A tingkop is a cone-shaped colander harvest basket made of blackened and natural bamboo. It displays their craftsmanship in weaving. Okay, so they also like weaving. And the extremely subtle changing of the under-over pattern of the bamboo strips makes this design stand out. Okay, and the next one, this is one of my most favorite arts and crafts from Palawan. So this is called Manunggol Jar. Manunggol Jar was actually excavated in the early 1960s inside the Manunggol Cave, Lipon Point, Palawan. Okay, the vessel is a secondary burial jar that served as a container for the exhumed remains of the deceased. It is one of the most important ancient artifacts from the Philippines. 890 to 710 before Christ. The upper portion, as you can see here, of the jar, as well as the cover, is incised with curvilinear scroll designs and painted with natural iron or hematite. And as you can see on top of the jar, look at this one. What can you see on top of the jar? Okay, top of the jar cover is a boat with two human figures, and these two human figures representing two souls on a voyage to the afterlife, because during their time, they believed during those times they believed that before you go before you can reach the afterlife, you have to cross the river. So here there are two souls here. One is the deceased, the soul of the deceased or the dead person, and then the other one is um the one who will take the other person or the soul of the other person to the afterlife. So that's the meaning of this cover. Okay, again, they use this jar as a secondary burial jar. Okay. And that's it. All right. So for my students, you are going to do some art. You are going to draw your own morion. Again, morion is the helmet or the mask, okay, used in Moriones festival. You may design it using other materials for the tassel. Okay, make it more festive using coloring materials. So I will just give you more instructions using the Google Classroom later. Okay, now let's know what you learned from this lesson, or if you learned something from this lesson. Okay, so what did you learn? Let's have the first one. A burial jar that served as a container for the exhumed remains of the deceased. Tingkop, manunggol jar, morion. And if your answer is manunggol jar, letter B, you are correct. Very good. Next, number 2. It is a rhythmic, poetic expression with a meter of 7 syllables. What is this? Ambahan, Urukay, Mangyan. Let's see if your answer is A, Ambahan, then you are correct. Okay, next. The last one. Mimaropa stands for A. Mindanao, Marinduque, Romblon, Palawan. B. Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon, Pasig. C. Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon, Palawan. What do you think is the correct answer? If your answer is letter C, Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon, Palawan, then you are correct. Okay, very good. So I guess you learned something from this lesson. I really hope so. And that's it for today. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again next time. Again, this is CJ-Ssaem, and don't forget to learn while having fun. Thank you.